Good morning, friends. Welcome back to Astrology Today. My name is Mel Rose. Today is Saturday, May 27, 2023. The sun is in Gemini, so our outer lives, the work, social, and civic, come to revolve around our desire to communicate, self-expression, chatting with people. We want to share ideas. We want to listen to what other people are thinking, collaborate and plan together with our cohorts and our friends. The moon is in Virgo, and it's a first quarter moon, so we're halfway from that new moon to the full moon, and this is the time when we shift gears out of planning mode and into taking action mode. So today's the day we pick up our plans and we say, this is what I'm going to get done. And this is what's happening today, actually. The moon in Virgo is a time when we really, from the heart and in the home, want to tidy things up. Okay, we want to get things sorted out, editing our materials, healing, giving compassion to ourselves and the people around us, seeing what we can do to sort out any ills or struggles that we're having. Weed your garden. I heard once that if you cut your hair or weed your garden under a Virgo moon, then it won't grow back as fast. So try that out for me and let me know what happens. So, this is the sun square the moon. That's what that looks like. When we look at the moon, it looks like half of a moon, and it represents a compelling shift at this time. We want to prioritize, moon in Virgo, the plans that we can complete this week. This is very materialistic vibe. Virgo is dispersing of earth material, so it might, you might be spending some money to enact your plans. You might be, laying down the deposit on the Airbnb for your vacation, or buying the tools you need to get the next project started, that kind of thing. And it's really, the guidance today is to go with that meticulous, compassionate Virgo flow. Okay, it's really the best possible intention for making things work out well, work efficiently, and make things easy for us, right? So this is taking care of business from the heart in the home. Pay attention to the details. It will be easy at this time to not get too distracted. And that's important because tomorrow we have the culmination of the sun's square to Saturn here. Okay, so we've been dealing with this energy a little bit lately, but at the culmination here, we go ahead and we go ahead and acknowledge that this vibe is at its full strength. Okay, so this is grace under pressure. Like, the sun is who you are in the outer life, the face you show. Okay. And it's kind of like, we're all kind of famous among our friends and family. So whoever it is that you're famous with, they're going to see you this week under pressure. Okay. And we're all going to be feeling it. So this is a time where we're sort of compelled and challenged by a sense of duty, to responsibilities that we took on, to commitments that we made. And it's going to require some hard work. Maybe there's a graduation and a baseball game on the same evening, and we're going to have to really sort things out, figure out who can be where and at what time, so we can get it all done, because it's all very important right now. Okay. And it may feel like a struggle to keep going. There may be a temptation like, oh, there are too many things on my plate, or there's just the weight of this responsibility feels like it's too much for this one person right now. Okay. But the message here is that the reward you get for rising to the challenge is going to enrich your life. Okay. It's sort of, Saturn is giving you a little test of character with the sun square to Saturn. It's saying, will you rise to the challenge? Will you keep the commitments and responsibilities that you signed on for, to the best of your ability, right? So that's what Saturn wants from us. And so it can be a little bit challenging. But again, just go with the moon at this time. Go with that, loving vibe, that desire for things to work out. Not just a desire for things to work out, because, in your heart, when the moon is in Virgo, that things are going to work out. Okay. And You know, some things will be given away, some money will be spent, or some, you know, some sort of material has to be dispersed. But in the end, you know, everything's going to be okay because we did that with heart, we did it with compassion, and our relationships are still, you know, good and intact. So that's all important because we're still working with this grand fixed cross here. Okay, so this is the South Node right here. That's the North Node. They're all always right across the sky from each other. They're not objects. They are points in space. And, you know, the North Node represents our trajectory, like what direction what we're really focused on at this time. And the South Node represents kind of where we have been and, you know, sort of what we can fall back on, what we understand really well, right? But, you know, the point in life is not to just sort of rest on your laurels or, you know, rest on what it is that you've already taken care of or done. It's to keep making progress. It's to keep trying to grow and get better and do better. So, you know, there's a conflict here between Mars and Pluto. It's a very hot conflict. There's a lot of gunfire out there. There are a lot of bombs going off out there. You know, in the world, there's war, there's conflict. There in our families and in our lives, among our friends, we have conflict. We have conflict with ourselves. You know, that's all very normal, and it's probably feeling really heated at this time. So, you know, be aware that if you're feeling that pressure from a sense of conflict with others or just a sense of too much conflict going on around you, you are not alone. This is something that we are all globally, worldwide dealing with in one way or another. But, you know, the Grand Cross asks a question, okay? It says, this conflict, is it going to, you know, it looks to me like a conflict between, you know, do we go forward or do we go back, right? There's a lot of political stuff happening in the world, you know, right around me because I'm in Arkansas in the United States. Okay, so there are a lot of laws being passed at this time that really seem to want to take things back to a time where, you know, a lot of people were still sort of under a thumb of one kind or another. So, you know, do we want to go backward? Do we want to try to return to a simpler time? Because their idea is that if we return to that simpler time, then things just won't be as complicated, and we won't have the same problems that we do, and we would have different. We would have about the same problems. We would just be having a different conversation about them. Okay, but you know, then there's the rest of us who want to move forward. We want to make progress. We want to contribute to the general uplift of society. We want everybody to be supported. We want everybody to have a say in how they get to live. And, you know, Jupiter is over here conjunct that North Node saying, yes, friends, I have gifts for you. Jupiter in Taurus, okay, I have gifts for you. I have so much growth, so much personal and professional growth for you. I have so many good opportunities for you. Come on up this path of progress. Come on up this path toward inclusion and toward, you know, sort of responsible materialism, so that we can make sure that everybody has what we need. When everybody has what they need, you're going to get to have nice things too. So that's the bigger conversation. And in the context of the bigger conversation right now, what we're doing is just sort of sorting things out for ourselves on a personal level, making sure our own ducks are in a row to the best of our ability, right? Giving it all of our attention so that when we come to that full moon, we can say that we did something. We can say that we did something, hopefully, that brought us in the direction of that progress we want to make for ourselves and in the world. And okay, so I'll step down from the soapbox and I'll say that I put this down here, but I also have it up here on the page. So on Thursday, the 1st, Mars is going to make a quincunx with Saturn. So more of this strange adjustment, conflict, challenging Saturn energies, right? And that's going to be, you know, Mars in opposition to Pluto while quincunx to Saturn. We're already dealing with that. So we're making adjustments about our actions because we want to be fulfilling our commitments. Okay. We want to be doing them in a conscientious way too. And then Venus is going to culminate the trine with Neptune again on the 2nd of June. So we'll look forward to that, and we can talk a little bit more about this sort of dreamy vibe that we have about our families and our homes and our sense of faith and optimism. And then on Saturday, the 3rd, the moon will be full. It will be in Sagittarius, and we will talk about that when we get there. I think that's all I have to say about it today, friends. Thank you so much for joining me. I truly appreciate your presence here. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It all helps me out a lot. I will see you in the next video.